everybody, welcome to our side of the internet. This is 4J Adventures and we're half of the crew. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Jason.
And recently we got the opportunity to load up our kayaks and our tent and head down to Broken Bow to try out some whitewater rafting. It is our first video, and with that we have learned a lot. We've learned a lot about filming, about editing, and what to do and what not to do.
We also learned valuable lessons about equipment and that there's a difference between waterproof and water resistant. Unfortunately, we took lots of swims during our trip and ended up soaking and ruining our iPhones. Because we ruined our iPhones, we had to shoot some of the later video on an old iPad, so the video quality is not great, and some footage we just lost forever. So valuable lessons were learned. But it was a fun adventure, and we hope you enjoy the video.
Adventure, we decided to check out Broken Bow, Oklahoma, which is a well-known tourist destination in southeastern Oklahoma. It's a popular spot with tourists from Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas, and it's known for its forested wilderness areas, hiking trails, kayaking, luxury cabins, and its beautiful lake.
We booked the campsite directly from the Oklahoma Tourism Department website, which is a great resource that not only shows the campsites that are available on a map, but you can also click on the individual campsites to gain additional information and even see thumbnail photographs to ensure that you get the perfect campsite for your trip. Before starting this adventure, we knew we needed to do some modification on our kayaks, including adding additional anchor points to make sure we could bungee and tie down everything securely to the boats. It's about a 3-hour and 45-minute road trip from Norman, Oklahoma to Broken Bow, so not too bad. However, true to form, we started off later than we intended, so we were setting up camp and cooking dinner in the dark, but it was a beautiful night with starlit skies, a beautiful moon, and we even took time to take a dip into the nighttime lake waters.
We woke the next morning to crystal clear waters, a gorgeous sunrise peeking over the tree line, and stunning views of what felt like our own private cove. We had found the perfect campsite for us indeed.
Making some breakfast.
Gotta cook that sausage and eggs.
Got in at dark, so we didn't get a camp setup video.
There are several different companies that offer float trip experiences. For this trip, we chose the Skip-A-Rock River Floats. Float companies offer different types of experiences. You can rent their boats and they drop you off and pick you up, or they offer a shuttle service where they'll drop you and your equipment off and pick you back up at the end. We were a little surprised to learn that there were no instructions at drop-off. It felt like a free-for-all with everyone jumping in their boats and heading out for a good time. Be prepared to see various levels of boaters, from first-timers to the seasoned pros.
Hey, babe. What are you comfortable with? got hung up on a rock.
I did not.
You did good.
I read it just right.
So things went a bit sideways early in the trip. As I approached the first rapid, I saw that someone had fallen out of their kayak and they were panicking while being stuck in the rapid. I tried to avoid hitting them while also reaching out my paddle for them to grab. This caused me to go over the rapid sideways, which you never want to do, and my boat overturned and quickly filled with water. This was my first of many times to take an unintentional swim that day. Yeah. Yep. You're welcome. You okay? Oh no! Oh, you're welcome. I'm just glad you're okay.
Here we are about to go over another rapid. I was very confident right until that point, and I realized that if I dumped, it was easier to jump out than to let the boat fill with water. So I started jumping out.
You okay? In order to avoid hitting Jessica, I ended up going over the rapid sideways, which caused my boat to get caught in the whirlpool between the lip of the rapid and a boulder behind it. With my boat being stuck and the rock tilting it one way and the rushing water tilting it the other way, my boat began filling with water until I remembered to paddle backwards as hard as I possibly could to get out of the whirlpool, which was a lot of work.
You said it, man.
Go over here. Here.
Sorry, you can keep going.
No.
Where can I? Rushing right in front of that.
That's all right.
There's water all in the boat.
How's it going, Steve?
It's going. We're adventuring. Lots of water on this adventure.
We both took swims. There aren't any rapids on Lake Thunderbird.
But I can get back in my boat.
That's true. And they don't sink all the way.
I know I don't look like I got this, but I got this.
Paddle. There's a rock right there, be careful.
How's it going?
I'm in my prime.
Yeah, you look it.
Little break. Now we're headed for the biggest waterfall. Jason's gonna try his hand at it first so we get to see the big man get lined up. We think we've judged where we need to go. The key is gonna be, can we paddle hard enough to get out there straight before we go over the falls. Wish us luck.
The river is essentially divided into three parts. The upper portion has the rapids, and the lower two portions are generally slow to medium flowing flat water. After the rapids, it was smooth sailing and a nice relaxed paddle. Also, if kayaking isn't your thing, you can even rent inflatable inner tubes and float the river that way. You can also even bring your own ice chest full of your favorite beverages. There are lots of people taking advantage of that on this unseasonably warm, sunny August day. Once you cross under the bridge, you arrive back where you started, at the parking lot of the guiding company. This is the halfway point, or 4.5 miles into the full 9-mile float. You can opt to end your float experience here, or if you're like us and you want the full 9-mile experience, you continue onwards for a pickup location further downriver. It appears that not many people take the full 9-mile trip because there was noticeably less people on this portion of the river, which was nice because you could relax more and really just enjoy the wilderness. Well, we went adventuring today and our phones got soaked and aren't working.
That happens.
So we're going to use the adventure cam to get some evening time. We're going to do steak, potatoes, and beans. Currently got 2 potatoes cooking. And waiting for the sun to go down. Making campfire cinnamon rolls.
Yes, sir. Must maintain the rotate.
Alright, welcome back and thanks for watching the video. Unfortunately, that was a little bit of an abrupt end because again, we lost our footage. So we had some camping footage after the Whitewater adventure. We were hopeful that our phones were going to make it. They'd kind of flutter on and flutter off, but unfortunately they got completely bricked. So there's no more footage of our nighttime camping or the drive home because we had to make that completely without GPS. And we also lost a lot of the footage on the last half of the whitewater adventure on the flat part of the river because we shot most of that with our phone, and because there was no cell service, it wasn't backed up to the iCloud, and that footage is gone forever. So hang in there, you'll learn lots of lessons.
I think one of the biggest lessons I learned is that sweet little pocket on our life jacket, not waterproof. And if you're going to take your phone on the boat, you need the handy dandy plastic pouch from Amazon.
Correct. We also learned the importance of a nice life jacket. We bought these before our trip. We had the traditional style life jackets before, like you see on boats and jet skis and skiers that have the cloth and the material that goes all the way around the sides. These are straps, and it's more open, so that allows you to be able to move more freely and paddle with your kayak.
Definitely. What do you think was your favorite memory of the weekend?
I really enjoyed our time at camp. The first night we got there a little bit late, set up in the dark, and we decided to make the most of it. And after we had dinner, we actually went, took a dip into the nighttime lake, and that was a lot of fun. And our campground was kind of out on a peninsula, so there were no other campgrounds close by. So we had kind of a little private campground, and it was just really enjoyable. In fact, even the second night after our kayaking trip, it was really hot, unseasonably warm for August in Oklahoma. Or actually, I guess it would have been, was it August? Yeah, it was August. Mm-hmm. So unseasonably warm even at night, so that was nice to get in the water and cool back off before trying to go to sleep in the tent. What about you?
Definitely. Well, I was really excited that we have an opportunity to go whitewater rafting here in Oklahoma. One of the things that I was shocked about is that we actually had that available close to us. Normally you only hear about whitewater rafting when you think about like Colorado and the bigger rivers, and so that was kind of cool to find that close to home. Definitely will be renting their boats next time. Would definitely rather be banging up their boats instead of our own. Also, our boats were filling up with water a lot, and so they had a lot of sit-on boats, which would make it a lot easier to just flip it back over and go.
Correct. As you'll see in the next video, we did some damage to my kayak by hitting a rock, or I guess not I. But our boats are sit-in kayaks, which means you're down inside the boat in a well. And when those fill with water, they get really heavy. They didn't sink all the way. But
Not quite, but they were very heavy, and it definitely took 2 people to flip them back
Correct.
over.
After 4 or 5 times dumping a 200-pound boat full of water, it was exhausting. So I think next time I would definitely rent their boats, bang their stuff up. But it was helpful to be able to learn the limits of our boats as well and get more comfortable with it, because you always kind of wonder, you know, if you're going to dump it over, or if it dumps over and fills with water, are you going to sink in the middle of the lake? So I found myself personally feeling much more comfortable with my boat after this experience.
For sure. Definitely felt more comfortable learning how to get in and out of the boat, which was something that I wasn't super comfortable with before we went. And now I'm not scared to get out of the boat whenever we go on our local river around here, because I know I can get back in really easily, which is fun.
And I was also glad that I checked out Reddit before we went. One of the things that was recommended is known as a paddle leash. So for example, on our paddle here, we literally have this bungee cord attached to it that connects to your boat here, and that keeps your paddle from floating down the river. You'll see, as you saw in one of the scenes from the video, after one of the whitewater sections, there's paddles, life jackets,
water bottles,
everything,
hats.
Yeah, everything floating down the river. So this at least keeps your paddle with your boat. So that came in absolutely clutch. I would also, next time, definitely get some more paddle leashes to also put our equipment cases and ice chests and all that kind of stuff, because after one point my boat flipped after the last set of rapids, and literally the paddle was wedged between rocks, and that was the only thing, since it was connected to the boat, was the only thing keeping my boat actually from floating away. So I look over, my boat's trying to float down the river, the oars stuck between a rock, keeping it in place. And I look in our camera box, our ice chest and everything else is starting to float down the river. So these were definitely great. They're waterproof and they float, so it kept everything safe. But you definitely want it attached to your boat because it will just float down the river if not.
Also, one of the things that I thought was a really cool tool that we had gotten before we left was this handy dandy little Osmo life jacket for our camera. We saw some more people who had their cameras and actually lost them at the bottom of the river. So one of my favorite memories that I did was whenever I got the fish video. I was so excited to have that fish swim up to me in the river. It was really cool. So
yeah, actually I think we heard of 2 people losing GoPros. So apparently the river in Broken Bow is a good place to hunt for some GoPros. But ours, because of that life jacket, it actually floats the camera. So if it does knock off of your camera mount or something else, it's not going to sink to the bottom. And as long as you have it leashed to you or your boat, you'll still have your camera.
thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like us and subscribe if you want to be notified whenever a new video comes out. We think we're going to be able to post at least once a month, and we look forward to hearing from you guys. Let us know your favorite local adventure where you were at in the comments below.
Thanks, guys.
Can I talk about it?
You got a flex
For the camera? That was a really good picture.
Shiggy, a little bit. I think it's recording.
Oh my god, that means it watched me burp. It's not recording?
No, it was after.
Hey,
Or
wait.
it was before.
Are you sure
Is it
it's
recording right now?
It's the baby. Alright. Carmen, I love you. Now,
Carmen, come here, baby.